Shouldn't we just go to the grocery store and buy milk?
You think about what kind of milk we have to buy. I don't give a shit about what kind of milk we have to buy. I don't drink milk. And so you, on the other hand, love milk. And
No, but
you
I'm talking about anything. I'm referring to anything.
So since we started being healthy, and healthy can be a complex way to look at food because food is how you're healthy. It's the vast majority.
It's how you survive. It can either
just
help
not
you.
just survive, thrive. It's the one
Yes,
thing
but
that it really
it's the base
does.
of survival.
It really does matter. Before we started really paying attention to food and our health, I would just eat anything. I would eat anything. I didn't care. I just walked around like what looks good.
Yeah.
And then, since we started becoming healthy, and I'm going to say something that I always hate to hear people say, when we started our journey.
I still call it a journey. I think the journey is beautiful.
I'm not on a journey.
Okay. I am.
Okay. When we started being healthy, not just on a superficial level, but on a deep level, we went from having 10,000 items at the grocery store to having basically 40 items at a grocery store that we could eat. It makes it real quick to shop, and that's fine. I don't need a super diverse, I don't need a plethora of crap. I'd rather a simple.
Makes everything simple, and it doesn't mean boring.
No,
and boring,
we
very different.
Yeah, like we eat very interesting foods.
Interesting.
Well, I mean,
we eat beef and eggs.
Yeah,
and
but there's lots of different ways that you can do
vegetables.
that. Yeah, and the thing that most people don't realize is if you eat things that are super nutritious and not filled with chemical shit and crap, you are super satisfied. And your brain is firing at 100%, and you are motivated, and you look great, and you feel great, and everything's great. And then if you eat shit crap food, you feel like shit crap. And it's glaringly obvious. So, you don't need 500 different exotic things to eat. You just need 7 or 8 really yummy things, and you rotate them throughout the week. I don't think I'll ever get sick of cheesy eggs.
And bacon.
Hell no, I'm never.
We do ground beef all the time in the morning.
Yeah, ground beef, eggs.
And then you'll have and
yogurt you can mix them together.
And banana.
Yeah, get a quality yogurt, not that Dannon crap that's filled with 32 grams of sugar, but just.
See, you do look at. See, my milk is your yogurt. You look at yogurt and you say that's crap.
Yeah, but now I don't look anymore because
you know what to get.
Yeah, so I just grab the one.
Stay with that. It's not confusing.
No,
any of the times.
The difference between you and me, and you're like, ooh, what's this milk? And then you'll stand there and read the back of it for 5 minutes.
I want to know what they're.
And you're like, maybe I should try this
with.
milk. But once I find a good one, I just stick with that. I'm very loyal, easy, because I'm lazy and I don't want to.
I'm loyal, but I'm always looking to improve.
Yes, I don't care. I found the one good one, and I'm good. I'm just gonna eat that one,
baby.
Hell yeah. But we've come a long way since we started. So this year I started
just thinking about that.
Yeah.
3 years ago, maybe 4, I don't know. We were down in Walnut Creek at our first contract, sitting, eating a pizza and beer and living our good. I still love pizza and beer.
I'm not stupid. We still get it every now and then. I
do
love beer, but I don't drink it very often.
That's 10% of our diet. But
pizza and beer, I wish it's 1%.
Okay, but you know what I mean. It's 10% of what we do.
Crap food,
yes,
is 10%, general. And the crap food that we eat is other people's healthy food.
Or
if that makes sense.
The general American diet.
Yeah.
The standard, what you would expect.
Yeah.
Burgers, fries.
Yeah.
Wings,
Yeah,
sandwiches.
yeah. Usually when we go
That's
to a
normalized for people.
yeah.
But it's not normal for the human body.
No, the people eat out at restaurants like or fast food like what 5 times a week or
Yeah.
4 times a week for the
Yeah.
American family on average, which is insane. When I was a kid growing up in 1892, there was like the average. Yeah, I'm old as f. I'm very old. Anyway, when I was growing up, going out to eat to McDonald's was like an event. We did it twice a year, maybe. Of course, I was raised
We didn't
weird,
go often
but
either. But my mom was a dietitian,
Right.
which is a whole nother subject because I think back on what she was learning because I was, growing up when she first started learning
Yeah.
and becoming one.
yeah,
And what she was learning,
she was
now
taught
I look
garbage.
back and holy shit, it's still happening too.
Yeah, she's still
Fat intake, Don't eat red meat.
right.
They couldn't have been more
Cholesterol's
wrong about
bad.
that.
Yeah, all
And she grows her own food and she loves fresh food. But I'm talking about back then, what she was learning and what I was, learning from her and what I know now. She bought us fake meat, and now I'm like, there's
Yeah.
30 ingredients in that.
yeah.
And it's all
But
made up bullshit.
When I was growing up in 1892, the crap food, like when you went to McDonald's and you got a burger and fries, it was a ground beef patty
Yes.
with potatoes chopped into fry shape that was fried in beef tallow, and salt was put on it. And that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, if you look
That's
up
not an
McDonald's
option
fries,
anymore.
there's 17
40
chemicals
ingredients,
that
yeah.
are in the fries, and they're not chopped, pressed potatoes. They're potato mush that's formed into a fry shape, and then dunked in soybean vaginal oil that robs you of all humanity.
Oh my god.
And
It's haunting.
it's disgusting.
And how is it not so, how is the nursing community not enraged about this and not like, I get why there's so many problems. They're kind of just in their own.
I think there's a couple things that why nurses aren't more pissed about nutrition. There's several reasons off the top of my head. One of them is they're too tired. A 12-hour shift. You know how much energy it would take for me to educate every patient on the disaster that the food they're eating is? I don't have that time.
Convince them of it.
Well,
Will they even?
I don't even know that
listen?
convincing them is not even an option necessarily. There's a certain segment of the population that just has to be written off as we will manage your symptoms, and it sounds like a horrible thing to say, and it kind of is, but it's also reality. You have 350 million Americans, and 50% of them are morbidly obese with serious chronic medical conditions that we can't fix. Once you have congestive heart failure, we can't undo that. We don't have the science yet.
No.
And
Well,
then
we do, but it's too late for that person.
No. Once they have that, we don't have the science to undo the damage
No.
that has been done to their heart. We just don't have it.
But we have the power to educate people.
Yes, but when they go to their doctor doesn't go, hey, you know what? Your heart's looking a little weak. We did an EKG. It looks like you're on the verge of congestive heart failure, and they're 52 years old. And the doctor says, so we're going to give you some medications, but the medications are a temporary Band-Aid. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to walk a mile a day. Let's start there. I need you to walk for 25, 30 minutes a day if you can. Let's get a mile in you a day. We're going to cut out all processed food. I want you to eat natural food. So if you don't cook it, you don't eat it. And we will revisit this in 3 months, and we will adjust your diet going forward from there, and then we'll revisit 3 months from that, and we'll keep adjusting your diet, and not just your diet, not just your intake, but the caloric intake as well, because it's not just eating healthy. You have to, like, most of these people start, they're profoundly obese, or they're at 32% body fat or higher.
Yeah.
And that, it's so easy to get to 32% body fat. I was 30% body fat. I was fat. And I'm sorry.
I mean, get closer.
I'm super close. But that was when I got a DEXA scan, and because I wanted to see where I was at, because I knew I was fat. And I was like, well, I clearly need to take some control of this. So I got a DEXA scan, and it came back at 30%. And I thought I was at 27%. And I was like, I'm going to die. I'm at 30%. I'm almost obese. And I'm a small guy. I'm not that big. I'm 5'9". You know, I'm not a big dude. So I had to get my shit together, and that's what I did. That's what we did in, like, at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we were always talking about it.
Yeah, we were working that way.
Do it. And we would start, and then we would get chips, and we would get all this crap, and we were still.
You were doing it. You were doing it more than me because you had to. You had to get control of what you were eating because of the seizures and stuff.
Absolutely.
But
I was like,
I was not. I was like, yeah, no, that's good for you. I'm good.
Yeah, you were just rolling with whatever I was doing. But I think that helped.
You would buy stuff for me, and you wouldn't eat it.
Yes, but then I started realizing that you were still feeling bad. You were talking about how bad you were feeling. So I was like, well, if I do this, you're living with me, so just do it with me.
Yeah, my big wake up call was not being able to tie my shoes without having some kind of support to lift my foot up by my belly.
Yeah.
You know, because that when you have like a big old, belly in there, and you're trying to lift your leg up, it gets in the way. And if there's not something holding your foot up when you're trying to tie your shoes, it sucks. And that was just like, I can't fucking tie my shoe without resting my foot on like a little ledge or something, or, because you can't hold your leg up and try to tie your shoes,
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. So that was a big wake up call to me. And what was my point? I don't know what I was saying, but like
after you started eating,
people, like the people we have to write off is people that won't. The doctors aren't educated in nutrition, just like your mother, a certified nutritionist, is
dietitian.
Dietitian. Sorry.
There's a difference.
I know. Dietitian. She's not educated in it. And
she is educating herself now.
She's a very educated woman. She's very smart. There's no diss on your mother. It's what the system produced for her in her education.
Same for us.
Same
for
of
nurses,
course. In
same
nursing,
for doctors. Doctors don't learn about.
Don't get me
nutrition.
started on the ADA. It's fucking dumb.
Oh yeah.
The 2,000 calorie ADA. Oh my god. You know how many diabetics I've given a no added sugar cookie to for lunch? For breakfast, oatmeal, a banana, and like, oh, I don't like the eggs; they're too bland. Orange juice for breakfast.
Eggs.
They get eggs, but they don't put salt on it because salt's not healthy. What? Salt's the least of your problems. You just jacked your sugar, and it's like, oh, I wonder why their sugar spiked.
Oh,
now I got to give
them some insulin.
Yeah, now my sliding scale says I need to give you 4 units.
Wow.
ADA. No, it was like, and then my point was, the doctors just go, here's a pill. Yeah, your A1C is 6.2, or now it's 11, so we're gonna up your insulin. When your A1C is in the 7, 8, 9 range, you're so dying. You are dying. your whole metabolic, your mitochondria can't
That's what I'm
function.
saying. Like, that's why the focus should be on 40, 50, 40, 30-year-olds, you know,
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
preventing them from these
Our
awful diseases because it's a metabolic issue. Our issue
absolutely.
in this country is metabolic. It's that simple.
It,
It's very simple. All of our problems are metabolic issues.
yeah, it's simple. It's not easy. I say that a lot.
You
It's
stole that
I did.
from someone.
Yeah, I
don't
stole it from someone.
remember who,
Well, how
but-
dare you? It was my idea. No, it's simple. It's not easy, but yes, it's a metabolic issue, and the people
Causing
that are in
every
their
problem.
20s, 30s, and even early 40s have the ability to change their lives,
And 50s.
and 50s. If when you get into your 50s, it's a different generation. That's my generation, and people in their 50s are used to trusting doctors. Doctors know everything. They give you medicine. Medicine helps. It'll fix your problem. No, it treats the symptoms. And doctors don't know shit about nutrition unless you specialize
That's
in
not
it.
all doctors
It's not all doctors, but nothing is all.
in the system.
If you're a doctor in the system and you're just handing out metformin and insulin and you're like, "Oh, your A1C keeps going up. I don't know why."
It's
And
ignorance.
you're not
It's
addressing
ignorance
what
to what's
is
happening.
they're sticking in their mouth and the
'Cause
weight
they
that's on
see
their
the
belly,
consistency, yeah.
then you're not helping your patients. You're managing their symptoms and you're keeping them in the system and enriching dialysis clinics.
My opinion is we get back to educating the public, general health, and being able to educate themselves with all this knowledge online, AI, everything. Educate yourself so you have questions when you have to have these, you know, problems addressed. But it shouldn't be a chronic issue. Healthcare, you know,
No, we spend so our
trillions.
huge the problem in America, we don't have enough doctors, so we're staffing with PAs and NPs, and God bless them, they're wonderful. We love PAs and NPs, but we don't have enough care providers for the amount of sick people, because you're not supposed to have a 350 million people population who have severe chronic medical illness. It's the system has been built around manufacturing illness as a commodity, which is insane. 100 years ago, we didn't have obesity. We didn't have heart disease in the way that we have it now. We didn't have strokes. We didn't have any of it. The diabetes was like a bizarre, like, oh, you got diabetes? Wow, what happened?
Yeah.
Like type 2 diabetes, I don't even think it existed 100 years ago. If it did, it was exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
Now,
Type 1, probably.
type
But
1
even
is
then, it's an autoimmune, which means
well, it
there
can be.
has
We don't have
to be-
full understanding of type 1, but type 1 is different. You
Yes,
can't. Type
but
1's totally
there
different
is
issue.
way more per year than there has ever been.
Oh, there's.
It's showing up in kids,
Oh, that was so. Before
was
it was
the-
called type 2, it was called adult onset diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And then kids started getting fat and getting type 2 diabetes. So they're like, oh,
diabetes.
shit, we can't call it adult onset anymore. We got to call it something else. So they switched it to type 2.
Yeah. What's the type 3 diabetes? That
So
they're talking about?
so they're saying that forms of dementia, Alzheimer's, are type 3 diabetes.
It's all metabolic.
Because of the insulin resistance and the metabolic disorder, insulin and insulin resistance causes vascular constriction, and that doesn't just happen in your kidneys, your heart, and your peripheral extremities.
Yeah.
It happens in your brain too.
Yeah.
If you deny your brain vascular flow, oxygen, nutrients, there will be problems in the brain. So they're saying type 3 diabetes is what causes age-related cognitive issues. So there needs to be a lot more science on it, but it makes sense. It correlates. There may not be causation, but there's definitely correlation between. There's a lot of reasons that cause, Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that. But by far, the strongest correlation is the metabolic disorder, where you are insulin resistant, hypertension, all the things that go along with that. And the thing is, none of it has to happen. It's all reversible. It's all reversible. If you have a metabolic dysfunction, you're insulin resistant, you're overweight, it's all reversible. You can take your life back. You can get off of those medications. You do not have to be on a hypertension medications. Very few people need to be on all these medications. In my job as a nurse, I get medical questions all day, every day, and like I will see a 48-year-old person who has a medical question about blah, 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 whatever, and I go into their chart, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're on 12 medications. You're 48. 48. You're on 12 meds.
I was on the road to that.
Yeah, you were. You were on so many meds. It was disheartening.
They're normalizing it.
Yeah.
Like, my garden mother, they were telling her to possibly start taking a cholesterol medication in her 20s.
That's insane. Statins are an evil that needs to be investigated, and people need to be put in jail, in my opinion.
I just don't understand. There's such a rise in dementia and Alzheimer's, and people are just normalizing it and victimizing themselves that their family ended up with an Alzheimer's parent, and it's just normal to send them off to memory care. And it sounds harsh, but it's being made by the system. They're doing it to us. Yeah,
cholesterol is a whole another thing. Like, so I got healthier. Even when I was 30% body fat, I was still fairly healthy. I exercised, and other than what the COVID shot did to me.
Wow.
Anyway.
That was nicer volume.
Yeah, well, I was intensifying. But I was fairly healthy, but still at 30% body fat, which is way too high. And I don't know where I was going with that, because you distracted me.
Just keep going off that thought.
Okay, but I started changing my diet. I remembered. I started changing my diet. I started eating healthy. We went carnivore. And
that's when I really just started feeling like a human.
Right. Carnivore helped me a lot.
It literally woke my brain up.
Carnivore and intermittent fasting, I think, is where I lost the most weight. I need to go back to intermittent fasting, but at any rate.
Yeah, we need to talk about that, because the combination of those two will make you powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me finish this point. So, I was at 30% body fat, and I was needing to lose weight, and before, my cholesterol was like 205, right? And that was like the year before. And my doctor was like, "Well, you're not that high. You're borderline. We could start you on a statin." And I was like, "No, I'm not. Like, my total cholesterol is 205. Why the hell would I want to be on a statin?"
Yeah.
And I think my triglycerides at that time were like 120, which to me is way too high.
Yeah, I didn't know back then. I knew nothing about this because I just worked in the ER.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
We don't really get into in the ER. I don't know how many of you work in the ER, but we don't give a fuck about your lipid panel. I don't care. I don't give a shit. They're like, "Is my cholesterol high?" I go, "We didn't even test. I don't care. It has nothing to do with why you're here." But I'm having chest pain. Don't give a shit. I can't. It doesn't change anything about. We only deal with what's happening now in the ER. Your cholesterol is a long-term issue. We don't even check lipids. Don't fucking care. So
in that sense.
Well, in the sense of emergency, like there's never been anybody like, quick, give them the anti-lipid medicine that'll reverse his heart attack. That's not a thing. It's stupid.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, quick, give him a statin. It'll save his life. Fucking no. Stupid. So,
What's your leg?
so then I went on carnivore, lost 25 pounds, went back, had my lipids redrawn, and my cholesterol had gone down. My LDL went up a little bit. My HDL was good. It was like 60, 69. And my triglycerides were like 69. Somewhere like nice.
You're just saying that.
They were like that. It was like 72 and 69 or whatever. It was right there. So I almost had 1-to-1 HDL to triglyceride level, which is what you want. And my LDL was elevated now because of the saturated fats I was eating. And my doctor was like, "Well, your total cholesterol is like 210. So technically, I'm gonna have to recommend a statin." I'm like, don't even try. I'm not gonna take 210 cholesterol, really? No, not indicated, and I'm not gonna take it. I love myself. I want to keep my memories. I got a bad enough memory as it is. I don't need to mess with taking a statin. And she was like, "Oh, okay."
I feel like it'll be known one day. Like,
yeah,
it'll be a lawsuit or.
The problem is nobody's going to do the research, and the lobbyists aren't going to allow it, and the funding won't come because statins are the most profitable. I mean, other than Ozempic, they were the most they were the most profitable drug ever manufactured.
Now,
because
in 10 years after this, we're going to see people with bowel reconstruction and all these horrible things from what Ozempic is doing to people.
Ozempic or GLP-1s,
they have their benefits.
There are,
but they have a lot of issues when there is a better way to do it.
Right. So nothing is all bad. And here's an example. Hitler, horrible human being, but funded Volkswagen. And we all like Volkswagen Beetles. So fuck that guy.
I did not know that. Thank you for that information.
But, Hitler, but, Volkswagen. So nothing is all 100% evil. There are cases where a statin would help someone. If your cholesterol is 700-800, a statin would probably benefit you because even
until you change your
diet and exercise, and there are some
reasons your cholesterol is 800. It's because your body has so much inflammation that cholesterol is trying to.
Well, and also there are some poor individuals who have dysfunctional DNA in their body and their cholesterol just genetically jacked all the time. Fine.
Okay.
Those are the 0.0001%.
And you're taking the medicine, then okay.
Yeah, yes. Statins should be prescribed to 4 to 5% of the population. Sure. Statin companies want it to be 100% of the population. They say every single person should be on a statin.
Do we think Bill Gates is behind this?
No,
he's behind.
Bill Gates is behind some of the most evil. That guy is a James Bond. He is Dr. Evil. What if I told you can keep eating the way you are? I'm going to give you metformin, but in 10 to 15 years, your left foot will be gone. Or you could stop eating processed foods. Let's focus on your metabolic health. We're going to do some intermittent fasting regularly, and once a month we're going to do a 36-hour water fast. We're going to get your cells functioning and working again. We're going to get you down 20 pounds to start, and our goal is to get you below 22% body fat. Does that make your provider a mean person, or does that make them someone who cares about your long-term health?
I think some people would say that person cares, but I know that there's a big part that says, they basically only want the medicine, and anything else they're not even listening. It's not that they probably even don't want it. They can't listen. They just think that one little thing, no matter how many they have to take, will just keep them alive and running and doing the same thing. They don't want to change. They just want to add the one little thing to their current lifestyle that's gonna help them live that way.
And the older you get, the more that is the truth. So boomers, you guys are cooked.
Toast.
You're done. You're
unless
in your
you fully
80s, late
want
70s,
to make
80s.
a cold turkey 360, you're toast.
Yeah, you're toast. A boomer would have to be the exception to the person, and they would have to go in and tell their doctor what they wanted. Gen Xers, my generation, they still have a chance. They could be instructed by their doctors.
Millennials are the biggest influence right now, but I think
Millennials we could save big
Z's
time,
already,
and Gen Zs haven't even got started with chronic illness yet.
No,
I mean,
they're more about prevention.
I hope so.
Gen Z is the older ones of Gen Z, I think, are.
But they're only in their teens, like 18, 19 on Gen
20.
Z, maybe, yeah, because elder millennials are what, 35?
Oh, I think
40?
40 now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
I'm old.
No, I think it's like 20 to 40 is millennials.
Yeah, all right.
40 to 60.
That makes sense.
That's how I think of it.
No,
But
you're probably right. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how you have to look at it. You have to, because you can't save everybody. That's something I learned in the ER a long time ago. You can't save
Especially
everybody.
when most people don't even want to do the work.
Yeah.
So you have to find the ones, I think, before they get to that point, and just show them the simple work that needs to be done, choices,
Yeah,
lifestyle.
I think podcasts like this will help to spread the word that you don't have to live like that. You don't have to live like that.
No.
I mean, and truthfully, at any age, if you're a boomer, you don't have to live like that. If you have type 2 diabetes and you're a boomer, and let's say you're 72 years old and you've been on metformin for 5 years, you can get off of it.
Yeah.
You can stop any neuropathy you have in your feet. You can reverse so much of the problems that you have, but it's simple, but it's not easy. It's a matter of understanding metabolic dysfunction and then taking control of your life to stop it. And that's what I've done. That's what we've done. I lost 25 pounds since the beginning of this year, and I got another 20 to lose because I want abs. Hell yeah. For her.
But it's important. It's important to feel your body truly work for you. Like, give you the energy when you eat, not put you to bed. Not make you want to, I just ate. I want to go lay down and, I just want to sit here. No,
Yeah, when we cook a steak and we each eat a 14-ounce steak.
Yeah.
Big mofo steak. Like, we'll be full, like, whoo, we just ate that. But 30 minutes later, feel great.
Yeah.
I have zero bloat. I digested it. It's like my body's just taking in those nutrients. We don't just buy any old shitty steak. We get good stuff when we can.
We try to go to a butcher, but I really want to get a half a cow, a quarter of a cow.
I know.
And I want to look for local farms. I think that we should all start, instead of Christmas presents, get a quarter of a cow so you have food for the year. And for real.
Do you want a picture of the cow before we slaughter it?
Yes, and I want the story.
Her
and I want
name
her
was Moo Moo.
And how long she was on your farm.
Yeah. I don't want that. I just like my food.
I just want my food. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I appreciate food differently now that, we've changed our lifestyle.
Yeah. Can you remember before when we first met? Tell him how we ate.
Fucking pig. It was my fault. He didn't eat that much, but he did not eat well.
I
you
didn't.
ate at fast food restaurants and you drank so many energy drinks and
All true.
You ate chips. You ate fake
That
cookies.
was my staple.
He had gummy bears.
But we're talking about you and how horrible you were, not how horrible I was.
We're talking about both of us.
Okay.
But yes, talk about me. This is why I probably had seizures. My body was dysregulated in all different, departments. But the food, I ate like a pig. I ate breakfast and then basically train wreck. Amy Schumer. I ate breakfast, snack, lunch, and a snack, dinner, and dessert every day.
Yeah, so, you barely ate anything. Let's get you some food.
I love that movie, by
That's
the way.
great. Trainwreck's a great movie.
But I did not eat well. I didn't eat well, and I even thought I was eating well because I would buy the healthy food, but it was the healthy processed food.
Yeah.
I always had protein shakes in the house. Already made ones.
Yeah.
The ones with 40 ingredients.
Yeah.
You still use the protein powder, but whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are some things.
There's better ones.
I know, it's hard to get
baby
on.
steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps. When he's ready, he'll get the better
Look,
protein powder.
if I get 90% of my food like pristine clean, and there's 10% that's junk, I'm okay with that.
But I had those protein shakes in my house, and I had a bunch of stuff, and also I probably was eating pretty healthy, but I ate large amounts of food, and I always snacked. I didn't give my body time to process anything.
You could eat me under the table. We would go out to dinner.
That sounds weird.
we would go out to dinner, and we'd order something, and she'd get like way more food than I would. And she'd be like, "That's all you're gonna eat?" I'm like, I don't eat that much. I grew up with weird food stuff. Like,
you were malnourished.
I was as a kid. Yes, I was very malnourished. Like when I graduated high school, I was 126 pounds.
Yeah.
At 18 years old.
So was I. That's sad.
Yeah, I'm 4 inches taller than you, and I'm a man.
Yeah. No, you were malnourished. But you were also malnourished when you were overweight.
Yes.
Just because you're overweight doesn't mean you're nourished.
No, true.
And most people that are overweight and obese are malnourished.
Yes. They don't have the nutrition that they need. They're full of calories.
Yes.
Full of calories and even worse, chemicals.
Yes.
But when we first got together, you could put the food away, and you were super skinny, like not as thin as you are now.
No, I was inflamed, and I could feel it.
Yeah, but you were a very thin young woman. But as you got a little older, that volume that you were eating was catching up to you, and you started to gain some weight.
I got up to 140 pounds.
Yeah, which for your frame is probably a lot.
Yeah.
But you looked great.
Thank you. No, but I feel the difference, and I don't think I was ever clear as a kid. I don't think I ever ate food that nourished me. Maybe little bits here and there. My mom would make salads, beautiful salads, and we'd have yogurt and fruit, but even the granola in the yogurt was bad, and even the yogurt was bad, and so every little step we thought we were taking to be healthy was not healthy at all.
Yeah.
And that's what's defeating in America to people is like, even you're like, why the fuck do I even have to try? I just want to go to the grocery store. I want to buy the ice cream that I want. I just want to buy. And it's like, sorry, but our country, this is what we have to do. We have to look into our stuff if we want to feel better, if we want to do better, if we want better health and to feel better and have a clear mind. And I think it's what we have to do.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. You're right. It's important, especially when you start. You'll need to look at all the food that you're buying and whatever you're consuming. It's almost like learning to eat all over again.
Yes, it felt that way.
Yeah,
it was like I was doing this.
I thought that was healthy. It's not. Oatmeal's not healthy. It's horrible for you. How many of you think oatmeal is good for you? It's not. Yeah. It's the worst, especially like those Quaker Oats apple cinnamon oatmeal. Oh my God.
Horrible.
That's diabetes in a little bag.
Anything in the middle aisles of a grocery store, horrible. And even on the edges where they say it's all healthy, some of that shit is not healthy at all. It's like you just have to have a set list. I should make that. I should make a set, simple list for just everything that you just need and nothing else. And it would just clear it's chaos in there.
It's difficult for people to buy into it because, like, let's say you're 25 years old and you're like a guy like me, your average height, 5'9", 5'10", and you're 220 pounds, and you probably think, I'm not that fat. You're probably 30% body fat.
At least.
And you don't think you're that fat because you look around and everybody else is 48% body fat. And you're like, I eat healthy. I eat oatmeal every morning, and I have a banana with my oatmeal. And then at lunch, I have a protein shake that, it's got protein in it. And then, when I go to fast food for lunch, which I do every day, I get the chicken. Or you may go, I'm going to get the salad. Those salads have more calories and sugar in it than the goddamn burger.
Yeah.
So people don't realize what they're eating because they've been told a lie with the food pyramid and processed food and all that shit. So like when you start
convenience, it's not just that, it's the convenience of it too.
Convenience is wonderful, but
they took advantage of it, and
it's
it
the
doesn't
root of
work
all
anymore.
evil dietarily. It's convenience is something that just will wreck you metabolically, unfortunately.
I didn't know that until going
that's
through
why
this.
Like a lot of times when I'm answering patient questions, I'll say you need to get on a natural food diet. If you don't cook it, you don't eat it. And if it will go bad in 3 days, you can eat it. If it will last in the refrigerator longer than 3, maybe 4 days, I'm not talking about cheese, I'm not talking about milk, I'm talking about like any kind of meat product or anything else, then you shouldn't eat it.
Don't eat processed food. Don't eat bad oils. Just buy real food.
Real food that has a spoil date. Like oh shit, I gotta eat that, or freeze it because it's gonna go bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel so much better.
Yeah, I've lost 25 pounds and, doing this. And I'm only about 90% carnivore, as are you. Mm-hmm. We're both about 90% carnivore. And the thing is you don't have to be...
carnivore.
You don't have to be crazy about it. Like, we have ice cream. Mm-hmm. She buys the better, healthy ice cream. I get the shit because it's 1% of my diet.
I don't believe in that saying everything's okay in moderation. I don't believe in it at all because I want my body to function at its best.
Well, you have more of an incentive because you were having seizures because of that.
But so you're waiting for the day you have that to live this way instead of just feeling good 24/7?
So if I can reach my 15% body fat goal, and I can do it while having...
You do that without it, though.
But if I can do that with having... And the ice cream that I buy is not the worst. It doesn't have quite as many chemicals as the worst. It still
has the damaging...
It has a few of them.
It does have damaging chemicals.
Here's another thing.
And it's mostly not even
Here's another thing about the ice cream that I eat. I don't eat nearly as much of it when I eat a session as I used to.
I'm hearing excuses.
I'm saying it's okay. Look, most people aren't going to be able to be as strict as you are. So you have to you have to give people...
I guess it's a realistic thing.
Yes.
But
the realistic are in.
It is true, though. I'm just saying that it's a simple thing to change and you won't think about it anymore. I'm not telling people to do this. It's just, why wait until the day that something bad happens to you to... give your body everything that it deserves. Wow.
Hey, as soon as Strauss comes up with a natural s'mores ice cream, I'll start eating that, but they don't have it, so...
No, it's the ice cream for bears, made with honey.
That one's pretty good, but it's not awesome. Like, even you are like, you'll take a bite of mine, you're like, God damn, that's good.
Because they do it. They make
Yeah,
it
yes,
that way.
yes, of course they do.
Scientifically.
Yes,
Yeah,
they make
with
it more
chemicals
yummy.
that I
Yes.
don't want in my body.
That's why you only have a bite of it. But you know what I'm talking about. You know.
That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it healthy, but
It doesn't make it right to put in your body.
I agree, but fuck, it's good.
Exactly. That's what the entire population thinks when they eat all this food.
Well, okay, but I
So it's
understand.
okay?
But no, I'm not saying it's okay. Just like alcohol. It's a poison. It's horrible for your body. But I like my alcohol. And as long as it's done in moderation, it's done responsibly.
That's another thing. I don't
You don't
believe
drink.
in that word.
You don't like
There's
alcohol.
no moderation for anything.
No, I don't believe in that.
Do good for your body. Stop. You admitted alcohol is poison, but you put it in your body.
Yeah, because it's fucking fun and it feels good. But there are other things that you like that I don't like.
Yeah.
And that there's a lot of things, but that are not good for you.
Like, what?
What? No, there
don't
are things that are not good for you that you partake in, and I won't out you or anything, but that you enjoy, that I don't enjoy, but they're not 100% good for you.
Yeah.
But that's okay because you do it in moderation. You do it and it has other benefits or, you know, whatever it may be. As long as it's doesn't have a detrimental effect to your long-term health, I think it's okay. Because it's sort of, probably because I was raised Mormon and you can't fucking drink coffee without going to hell. And
I still don't understand that.
well, nobody does. It's a crazy cult. So, but because I'm not even going to get into that, but if it's because I was raised that way, I see things a little differently. Like I see
Dead people?
Yeah. I see how moderation is beneficial in the totality of a goal. So, if my goal is to get to 15% body fat, and I deny myself things to the point where I can only go so long. Like, let's say I say, okay, I'm not gonna have a sweet or ice cream or whatever at all until I get to 15%, and I'm losing a half a pound a week or whatever, and 6 weeks goes by and I'm not at 15% body fat, and then I just go nuts and I eat like half a gallon of ice cream. And then a couple of days goes by and I eat another half a gallon of ice cream. And then I'm just like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm not even going to hit my goal. Let's just go to Taco Bell. Sorry. Let's just go and eat whatever we want. Let's have a bag of gummy bears. Let's have 4 beers because fuck it. I'm never going to hit 15% body fat. Instead
that's a
of
self-inflicted belief.
No, but that's a realistic human mental process. And you're right, it is a self-inflicted belief, but I'm dealing with reality on reality's terms. So if you say to yourself, I want 15% body fat, and the way to do that is to be in a calorie deficit for X amount of time with X amount of exercise, and as long as I factor in a small amount of ice cream into my daily calorie deficit, now I'm not going to lose my shit in 6 weeks when I'm only halfway to my goal, because I can't do another 6 weeks of only eating chicken and broccoli. I can't do it. So I'm going to have a small amount of ice cream here and there, as long as it is within my calorie deficit, my numbers, like my 1,800, 2,000 calories a day, then it's okay. And I know it's not the healthiest ice cream, or it's not the healthiest this or that, but it's a small portion of your daily caloric intake. I think that's super beneficial to the long-term goal. And you're way more strict than I am about it. and that if that works for you, wonderful, you do it. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Because I'll lose my shit and I'll just go overboard and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So everybody has to figure out what's good for them and what works for them.
Yeah.
For me, moderation is beneficial. And I think everybody has to figure that out. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And everyone is doing this for a different reason. You didn't even know you wanted to feel better until you realized, oh, I feel better when I eat this way, and
yeah,
when
I realized
don't eat
it.
as much of this.
I realized it when I couldn't tie my shoes without feeling like, like because I was so fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not cool.
Yeah.
So, and it creeps up on you. I didn't get super fat overnight. Like when I met you, I was 4 pounds heavier than I am now.
Wow.
And just when we would go, back then we were just going out like 5 times a week.
Well, we were travel nurses.
We were travel
and that
nurses
was the
and
lifestyle.
Sure,
and
yeah. It was like
it
you
seemed
didn't
like
have
we were
anything.
eating healthy foods, but we were
Right.
also just eating a lot and
Eating a
snacking a
lot.
lot. We drank alcohol. We didn't binge, but we had a drink with dinner and a drink
Right.
with lunch.
Yeah.
And we were just excited because we weren't making that much money as staff nurses.
Yeah, and then we
Like I was
tripled our
barely,
income.
yeah, it was the first time we both ever made money and felt good about making money.
Yeah.
And it made the job a little bit more worth it.
Yeah,
to
it was
me.
kind of like you were on vacation all the time.
Yeah.
Other than when you were working in the ER and getting yelled at. But on your days off, you're like, we're on vacation. We're in some cool city. Let's fucking
it was
party.
cool until it wasn't cool.
Right.
And then the prices went down. But anyway,
Yeah.
we just lived a very different lifestyle. We were not healthy at all.
No.
Not once.
And in that 2 years of us traveling, that's when I gained like 20 pounds.
Yeah, we weren't, I don't know, we were just, I guess we were enjoying ourselves, we would say, but at the same time, you can be making money and be successful and still take that time and effort to put into your health.
Yes, it was sort of like 20 pounds lighter me was not worried about my health. I was a healthy guy. We still worked out.
We did. We worked out a lot.
Yeah,
but
like
we
as much as we could. Whenever
overeating and
we would
stressed.
get to a new city, we would get a gym membership wherever we were, and we would work out. But I was eating like probably 5,000 calories a day.
Between food and drinks.
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
We were just putting it on.
stressed.
Yeah,
So that will
the stress
induce
was.
weight.
Yeah, if you want to be a travel nurse, it's fun, but you're going to be stressed out, especially if you work like in the ER. I'm sure all the other floors are stressful as well, but from an ER nurse perspective, everybody hates you when you get there. They all think you're a reject and a loser, and they treat you like shit. And then by the time your 3-month contract is over, they're like, please take one of our staff jobs. You're so cool. You're so funny. We love you. And then you're like, I'm a travel nurse. I don't live here. You guys are cool, but bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so just FYI if you want to be a travel nurse. And the rates suck now anyway, so don't do it.
I know. It's all a scam, too, because hospitals would rather pay this little amount of money to them for a travel nurse for, 13 weeks or 26 weeks and hope that they extend than pay to hire a new nurse. It's just so
Or
obvious at this point.
Pay their staff nurses more to retain them.
Or hire more nurses so the staff stays and pay them more.
No, I know, but that would
because then everyone would be happy. Patient care would go up and they would make more money again.
Yeah. I think the nursing industry should have a 2-to-1 ratio, and everybody starting should be $150K a year. That should be nursing
Minimum at this point.
Yeah, that should be.
In this day and age, to survive as a single home income, you need 150K minimum.
Right. That should be
to actually survive.
Bare minimum. And then if you have a specialty, I don't know, it doesn't matter what specialty, but if you're a specialty nurse, you should get more.
But if you have to worry about picking up extra shifts or finding a second per diem job because you can't handle working in the hospital or working at this clinic or, all these things, it's like, what is the point?
Yeah.
You have a career. It should be 3 days a week or 5 days a week at the clinic, 8-hour shifts, whatever it is. Hell, it should be way less. but what's the point, you know?
Yeah, it's nursing's one of those weird things where the nursing community feels that nursing is a calling and that no matter how bad it is, you do this for the love of caring for people. And in my opinion, that shit's fucked. That needs to be flushed down the toilet. When you're caring for people, like I got into nursing to care for people. That's why I got into nursing, because I've always been someone that wanted to care for people. And so I thought that it would fit my personality. But at the same time, I wouldn't have got into nursing if I didn't think I could make a living. You know, so the main reason I'm a nurse is because I get paid. When COVID was happening, they're like, heroes work here. I'm like, yeah, try not paying me. See if I show up. Okay? I'm not a hero. I'm an employee. Yes, I care about my patients. Yes, I want them to be healthy and I want to do my best and I want to take care of them, but it's a job. It's a job. At the bottom line of it is it's a job, and it should be paid to the level that is appropriate. And right now nursing is not paid to the level that it's appropriate. It just isn't, because nurses like to say it's a calling. And therefore I will do it. Even in a pandemic, I will be here for my patients. I will never abandon my patients. It's like, oh yeah, don't pay me, motherfucker. See if I show up.
Yeah.
No, I need to pay my fucking bills. I want to be able to work and have a great life and not be check to check. And I want to help people.
Yes.
What a crazy idea. Can't we do both?
Not in their eyes.
No,
because
in their
that
eyes,
hurts
that
their
would their bottom
pocketbook.
line. Yeah, their
Yes.
bottom line.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a fallacy of nursing. If all nurses looked at it as a job instead of a calling, there would be more of a push for the payment that we're deserved. But I think because so many of them are like, well, you know, it's really a calling. I feel bad asking for more money. No, get what you can. Everybody else is. Everything's a scam. Everybody's cheating everybody. Not that nurses are cheating anyone. I'm just saying, like, everybody's out for their own, but nurses aren't. They're out because they're there to help people, not for the paycheck. Well, that's not me. I'm there for the paycheck.
And to help people.
And, well, yes,
but
of
nobody
course.
can see that. It's one or the other in
Right.
some people's minds.
No,
This is a calling. No.
But why can't it be both?
But it's not even a calling. It's you want to help people, but you're there to get paid and be able to make a living. You're not there to volunteer and get a few cents for, you know.
No.
But then it gets even deeper and darker than that. You know, what you're there doing is unfulfilling. So, you know, change the way we take care of people.
That becomes
Because
a different aspect when you start looking around going, we're not helping anybody. We're just slapping Band-Aids on people and sending them on their way.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Yeah, that's what gets so exhausting is nobody's getting better. We're all seeing it and we're kind of just moving along with our day. And maybe some of us are even numb. Maybe some of us are even unaware of what is happening. But I think most of us are awake. How do we collectively say, hey, nobody's getting better? There seems to be a glitch in the system.
I don't know how you get past this issue because the hospital corporations have so much power. The unions are complex in that they fight for the nurses to a certain extent, but they're locked in with the corporations and it's all just money.
It's kind
and
of
then you
within
have
the same system.
There's no incentive for the patients to be disease free. There's no monetary incentive in the system. The system is designed to create sick people and keep them sick, to manage the symptoms, to keep them alive longer so that they can bill longer until they die.
So we need a new system where these nurses have a new option to go to actually help people instead of...
I think that has to be private. I think it has to be private. Unfortunately, when you have a system that is privatized like that, so you'll have two systems. You'll have the insurance system, the government system, and then you have concierge, the private system, which is like Ryan, who was on your podcast the other day, and he's doing concierge where he wants to cure people of their diseases. That's his focus. He wants to use current medicine and holistic medicine and dietary changes and fasting and all the things to cure the chronic ailments that people have so that they're not on a long-term medication and they're not constantly in and out of the system, in and out of the hospital, with advancing disease that we slow with medication, but we never cure. But that costs money. The silly thing is...
But so does insurance, and insurance is more expensive.
It is, absolutely.
And you're still paying.
So here's the issue with someone like Ryan. Like he has his concierge business, which is very reasonable. It's very affordable. It's way cheaper than what your employer would provide for insurance. The problem with concierge medicine is that it doesn't cover catastrophic problems. So there's always the chance that you're going to get in a car accident and break your leg, puncture a lung, have a traumatic brain injury, and you could need $400,000 worth of medical care. As evidenced by you, you had hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills. You were flown in a helicopter multiple times. Intubated, ICU bills, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You had medical insurance. It paid for most of it, but not all of it. Yeah. You were still
left in debt. Horrible debt.
Yeah, horrible debt. Because insurance was like, we're not paying for that.
It was a total scam, and I kept getting billed by the ambulance company and the insurance company and the hospitals. It's a money grab.
It's a money grab.
They will do anything they can.
So people will continue to pay $400, $600, $1,200 a month for their family's medical insurance, and the vast majority of that money will not be used for their health care. It'll be used for their sick care. Yeah. And the thing is, we can't, if there was an insurance company who said, we'll pay for $100 a month, we will provide you with catastrophic medical insurance. We will cover you for ER visits, hospital admissions, stuff like that. Primary care, that's on you. You're going to have to pay out of pocket for that. I would pay for that in a New York minute. That would be awesome. But it's not a thing. Right now, I pay, $350 a month for me to have health insurance that I use almost nothing.
And when you do, you still have to pay a copay.
I still have to pay $35 to go to my doctor. I still have to pay a copay for this, a copay for that. It's like, what the hell am I paying for?
Yeah.
For that what if scenario where I fall off the roof because I was putting the Christmas lights on or whatever.
Just instead of that, invest the money into an account.
Well, they have health savings accounts.
Yeah, HSA.
Those are a thing. But the health saving accounts, you would need to have, if you had a health savings account when you had your stuff, you'd still be bankrupt. There's no way you could not save enough money.
No.
You were hundreds of, one helicopter flight was $75,000.
It was $120,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like a health savings account isn't going to scratch the surface of that, So, and it's not like you weren't even conscious. You were intubated. It's not like you could go, I don't want that. It's not like I was there, but I'm not going to be like, no, don't do that.
But insurance
I'll put
decides
her in the back
what
of my car.
medicine you get. Insurance
Right.
decides what medicine you get.
Right.
Which is illegal. Should be illegal.
Yeah, there's no way that should be illegal. That's some bullshit. But it all comes down to taking control of your personal health when you can. And truthfully, you can do it at any age, at any level of health. But the younger you are, the easier it's going to be, and the more benefits you'll have from it. But like, for example, we watched that Joe Rogan podcast with Jelly Roll. That was very inspiring, and God bless Jelly Roll. I don't even know the guy. I don't know his music, but what a story.
Absolutely.
And if not that Joe Rogan needs any, bump from our podcast where 35 people are going to watch it, but if you're watching this, please watch that, because it will inspire
really
you.
Inspiring, and it was just genuine. It came from his heart. He took us through this really emotional journey, and honestly, the reality of what people are facing with chronic illness, it's with anything. His chronic illness was his obesity and his addiction to food, and how it comforted him. But that's so many of us, because that was me. I could see myself in his story in a different way. I was like, I had to unaddict myself from food and learn how to nourish my body properly to stop having seizures.
I didn't have an addiction to food. I had a weird relationship with food. Because
in what way?
Just the way I was raised, how my mom would make food, and everything was like, everything had to be the cheap version of everything, and everything was like, had to be, I don't know. She just had a weird thing that nothing tasted good. so I had a problem with, I would only eat yummy things, and yummy things are bad for you unless you have a more discerned palate,
Yeah.
Cookies are way more yummier than anything else. So, that kind of thing. But Jelly Roll's thing was, he had an eating disorder where he would eat his feelings and stuff. That's what I got from the podcast, but not to speak for the guy, but but I think there's a lot of people with issues around food, and
well, it's because it's what we need to survive, and they found a way to addict people through food.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and
Doritos
in our country
makes their chips crunchier because they found it was psychologically, they would sell more chips if they could make the chips crunchier when you bought them.
Same thing with Cheetos. There's a chemical in Cheetos that makes it feel like it's airy and dusty, and it just melts in your mouth like it's not that many calories, so you can eat more and more and more. It's all to do with to manipulate your brain, and it's just a breath of fresh air to hear someone that unmanipulated his own brain.
Yeah.
Naturally, he used minor medications here and there to just help his body stay in a good state while he was doing the work.
Yeah, one of the things I really liked about what he said was his provider, the person that helped him through his, helped him lose this hundreds of pounds that he lost, was she did put him on metformin, but not to control diabetes, but to help bring down his blood sugar level while he re-regulated his metabolism. And it was like, wow, that is a really great use of a medication. Like, I wish all providers would do that. Be like, well, we'll put you on metformin, but you have to understand, you can't be on this drug forever. You have to lose weight. This is not a forever drug, unless you want to die with no legs and dead kidneys on dialysis. If that's your goal when you're 65 years old, to be hooked up to a dialysis machine 3 times a week with no legs, yeah, metformin will do that for you. But if you want to live a healthy life without cardiovascular disease and your legs, and you want to be able to do things, then metformin should be used to correct an issue with diet, exercise, and weight loss. And I love that his provider did that for him. It was inspiring.
It was, because you don't hear that, and you hear the providers pushing back, saying that, well, patients don't want to make the changes, but are they informed to why they need to? It's like,
no, they're not. They just go, oh, well, you're pre-diabetic, your A1C is 6.2, and we need to put you on metformin so you don't become a type 2 diabetic. Well, that's bullshit, because once you start metformin and you don't change your diet, you will become a type 2 diabetic. It's just a fact.
Once you're already seeing those changes, you already have a metabolic problem.
Right.
You're already insulin resistant at that point.
Oh, long term.
You're insulin resistant before you're pre-diabetic, probably.
Oh, absolutely. That's the only way you become pre-diabetic or diabetic. You're metabolically dysregulated.
I very well have been insulin resistant.
We all are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because we're all just shoving empty calories into our face that is full of sugar, full of processed chemicals that destroy our
and your pancreas is just cranking out insulin to get rid of this overload of sugar and calories that's in your body that it can't handle. And so you become insulin resistant. That's what happens when you have too many calories, too many carbohydrates, too many sugars. It's a thing that happens. Humans aren't designed to eat like this.
No.
Everybody should. I wish there was we could go back to 1890 and look at the diet of somebody from 1890 and just eat their food. There were no fat people in 1890. Not none. You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It was 5% of the population were fat. Okay, so if we could just go back to food from 1890, we would solve 90% of our chronic medical issues.
Because now we have the technology and the medications, if we need to use them to help people. Because people would argue, we need medicine. Yes, we absolutely do, and we have a lot of research. But we don't need it in the way it's being used today.
No.
Enabling chronic disease. My goals for 2026 are to continue learning how to nourish my body better, continuing to strengthen my body, whether that's at the gym, which it will be, continuing my movement, my walking, and just strengthening my muscles, my brain. I want to start reading more books. I just want to strengthen every muscle in my body, if that makes sense. I want to just...
You want your brain to get fatter and your body to get stronger.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah. I want all the cholesterol in my brain, baby.
Yes. Yeah.
But I want to see what I'll feel like this time next year, because I already feel like a whole different person, even from 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I feel like an entirely different person from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what, will feel like next year.
Yeah.
What are your goals?
My goal is 15% body fat.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I think I'm at about 22-23% right now, which is okay. I'm very proud of the fact that I lost 25 pounds, but I've got more to lose. And I'd to build maybe 5-10 pounds of muscle over the next year. And just, I think my cardiovascular health is pretty good. And, yeah, other than that, I think I'm doing fairly good. Maybe cut out some of my excesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few things here and there. A little less ice cream.
Nice. Those are good goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to share your New Year's goals in the comment section below, I'd love to see them. And if you enjoyed this podcast, share it with a friend, subscribe to the show, and I'll drop the Buy Us a Cup of Coffee link below if you want to support the podcast. We don't have sponsors. We'll probably never have sponsors. I just want to do this to get the good word out and to help people, because you shouldn't have to live life the way a lot of us are, and you have a choice, and we're going to teach you those choices with this podcast and give you the facts and give you the reality. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next time.